21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
I'm Jason Schappert.
I am Magda Schappert, and the game of this world is time and money. So you either master them or they will master you.
And in this episode, you're going to hear our entrepreneurial journey, how we went from absolutely broke to an 8-figure exit. And we'll be sharing with you too more about our next venture, how it can help you take all those same steps as well. My wife and I grew up on opposite ends of the world from one another, but in similar circumstances. We actually grew up both in entrepreneurial families. My father was in pest control, killing bugs for a living. So at 12 years old, my summer breaks were spent killing bugs with Dad. Now, we live in Florida, so imagine in Florida, in August, crawling under houses, going in attics and killing bugs with Dad. I mean, at 12 years old, it was hard work, but it taught me so much. And it actually showed me so much to prepare me for my own entrepreneurial journey. And I'll never forget, we grew up, by the way, less than middle class, close to the poverty line. When we actually first moved to Florida, we lived in a motel for our first few months until we found a home to live in. But my dad had very wealthy clients. And I remember being a nosy 12-year-old kid and walking into these mansions and going, I want this one day. Like, what do these people do differently than what we're doing right now? Like, Dad works hard and these people work hard, but why do they have wealth? And I remember being nosy and going in their offices. I'm supposed to be spraying for bugs. Instead, I'm looking at their office going, they have so many books. Their bookcases are bigger than their TVs. And I built this early association that successful people read a lot. They're learners, right? And just began to, as a 12, 13-year-old kid, start devouring books and everything else really along those lines. And my wife really kind of had a similar upbringing in that way.
Yes, so I was born and raised in the little island of Mallorca, Spain, and I was just a little girl with a big dream. My father, both of my parents were entrepreneurs. They started their own business, and I grew up with the mindset that this island is too small for you. There are bigger things for you. You need to pursue the big dream, the American dream. So my dad always pushed me and empowered me to overcome adversity, dream bigger. And at the age of 12, I decided to start playing tennis. It was kind of my vehicle to come to the United States. I came at the age of 20 here to America, played tennis, pursue my dream, did my undergrad, and then I started my business and I met my husband. So being an immigrant, coming from a completely different country, not knowing the language, not knowing anybody, not knowing the different currency, different language, different people, you don't have the friends and the family that can kind of introduce to other people. So you are on your own. You either, every single situation, every single decision matters. So it's in the moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So in my decision of putting aside my fears and my doubt and look higher and try to pursue higher dreams and believe they were available for me, that is why I'm here today on this podcast, sharing with all of you and telling you, pursue your dreams, because this little girl from Mallorca pursued her dreams. And here today, I'm sitting with my husband, sharing with you about how we did it. And we truly lived the American dream. And we continue to do so every single day. As we were growing our first business, my husband was the leader of this household, and he had all the financial pressure that he not only needed to grow the business, operate the business, but also keep the money in our family, manage it and grow it. So honestly, when we started, we didn't have the additional $500 or $5,000 to be able to invest, to give a great financial advisor to invest for us. And by the way, we could not afford to pay this advisor the additional fees. So my husband had, with all the pressure upon himself for the financial success of our family, he had to develop a new skill and then learn self-management, right? Manage our finances. So he studied and he learned and he mastered. He followed the people that mastered finances and the market. So one day we were having a very deep conversation on the couch one evening. We wanted to have a baby, and we're thinking, okay, how can we set up our family for success? And we went into these deep conversations, and my husband said, you know what? If something happens to you, I don't even know how to log in to your bank account. And I'm just like, wow. And same things, even farther, happens on my end. So at that time, he was self-managing all our investments. I had no idea if we had $100 in Apple or $100,000 in Tesla. I didn't know. I didn't even know where to look for or where it was and how, what amounts. So he said, okay, this is a problem that we need to solve. We cannot continue living like this, because the more money we are entrusted with, better stewards we need to become. And we can not only have this dependency and rely on just one person, not only because it was too much pressure for him, but also because it just common sense, right? So he put so much love and passion in trying to teach me how to understand the market, how to read the numbers, how to, make good decisions. And honestly, I had no interest in learning the market. I had no interest in learning how to self-manage our finances. And I said, okay, my love, you are a pilot at trade. You are very good. And you master the skill of, when you fly the airplane, you fly at 200 knots an hour. You are used to see the screens, the instruments that feed you data constantly, airspeed, altitude, fuel consumption, everything. And at the same time, when you are fed all this data, your mind is processing what's going on in the environment. Where is the cloud? Where is traffic? Where are the towers? And what do I need to, what am I hearing on the radio? What do I need to do? And always keeping in mind your destination. So he had this skill. He was a master in this skill of making decisions based on constant environment changes and being able to analyze and read data, constant data that it's changing every second. So this is exactly what's happening in the market. And I'm just like, you are so good. And in the past 5 years, he mastered that skill. And it's something that I was not able to put myself through that process because I didn't have the passion to do so. So I told him, can you put what's in your mind on a file for me that I can just type the numbers and kind of create a formula, and it will give me decisions, it will help me make decisions. And he after, for a couple months, he tried to do so, and it was really ugly at the beginning. But basically, throughout the months, he made it better and better and better, and he used it for our family finances and made it prettier. And today, that's Moola Copilot, available for everybody.
We don't lie, get them bags in the cash, that's DIY. Ain't no check, get them bags in the cash, that's what I like, that's what I like. Real bad bitch, yeah, she got it like that. Daddy feel the devil, then hand that back. Real bad bitch, yeah, she got it like that. Daddy feel the devil, then hand her.
So Moola is actually our second business together. Our first business was in aviation, more specifically, aviation test preparation. We're the largest provider of FAA test preparation for pilots, whether you want to fly a drone or be an airline pilot one day. And we did that all together. Through COVID and thereafter, we worked at home together with it. So imagine being husband and wife, founder and co-founder, right? Working together on this and try to be husband and wife by 6 p.m. later in the day. It always posed unique challenges. And it's one thing we actually genuinely struggled with early on is bringing business back home with us, because it was such a core part of our lives. And in everything that we did revolved around that business. Our vacations were to aviation trade shows. And she said, we haven't been on a date in a while. I said, what do you mean? We just went to that big air show. She said, Jason, an air show is not a date to go to, but I liked being around airplanes. And she did too, but to be fair, and I think for those listening, I wouldn't change anything. I love doing business with my spouse. We're doing it again, after all, but you have to put those barriers, those parameters in place. You have to set, when we're in work mode and when we're in, husband and wife mode, and these sort of things to make it successful. But I would argue the reason our first business was so successful was because we were all in. It really was our life, and we were on the same mission together. And going back, even previously, my wife left a very good, high-paying job to her business, actually, to come build this aviation business even bigger. So when you have two very smart minds working together on the same thing with the same mission, it goes a long way.
If everything I dreamt of it was true, I'd take your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy and so wonderful to know it's you.
So Moola, although it's an investing and savings app, was built out of the aviation industry, believe it or not. As Magda alluded to earlier, in my airplane, I have 6 instruments in front of me at all times. And those 6 instruments tell me what just happened 30 seconds ago, what's happening right now, and what's likely to happen the next 30 seconds if you keep doing what you're doing. And we came to the realization that said, why don't I have the same thing in our finances? I log into my online banking and it's crusty, it's old, it's ugly. Where is the beautiful technology? Where is the algorithmic studies and artificial intelligence that gives me this kind of data? Because we were hearing our own friends and employees talk about how they have more month than they have money. I thought, what an interesting problem to have, because we had been there. Like Magda and I have been broke.
Yes.
And we're able to pull ourselves out of that. What were the tools we had? What were the tools we wish we had? And that's really what we created Moola all around, to take the emotion out of the investing decisions and instead using large language models and artificial intelligence based on your age, risk profile, to help you make those smart buy and sell and hold decisions. At the end of the day, we're not trying to build a bunch of day traders. We believe in long-term growth style investing in really great companies. But even before that, it goes back to helping our members, our Moola members, as we call them, get debt-free, with the savings side of things, with this pocket-inspired budgeting. So when you log into Moola, you'll see I have my entertainment pocket, my shopping pocket, and her shopping pocket's very big. my dining pocket, whatever that may be. It's the classic envelope style budgeting system all our mothers probably used back in the day.
Yes.
But it's all digitized now, and we're automating that through several features like our spare change feature, which Magda and I go out for a cup of coffee at $6.95. We swipe our Moola card, and you do get a debit card with Moola. Moola charges you $7. $6.95 goes to the coffee shop, and 5 cents, a whole nickel, goes into the pocket of your choice. And you say, like many of our customers said, Jason, how could saving 5 cents possibly make a difference? Well, it's back to the adage that small seeds grow into big trees. And that is
Yes.
true in entrepreneurship. That is true in savings. That is true in so many things. To use a baseball analogy, everyone is looking for home runs because home runs make it on TV. Home runs make it at the front page of the newspaper. But at the end of the day, for those that follow the game of baseball, baseball is won by a series of base hits. Just small, purposeful efforts made over and over again and allowing time to work on your side. People need to learn they need to stop trying to time the market because it's really time in the market that truly matters with everything that we do.
Yes, another thing we do in Moola is the education part of it. We are teachers at heart, and people are really good at making money, and sometimes they are not as good as keeping it. So a lot of we saw with so many friends and employees that if they were living paycheck to paycheck, the solution was not giving them more money, because in our limited mindset by then, when they were coming to us with this, they had more days at the end of the month than the money. We were thinking, okay, perhaps we need to increase their pay. Well, 6 months later or a year later, after receiving big raises, they had bigger problems, larger credit card debt, and more days at the end of the
Just a
month.
larger scale. Yes.
Exactly, it multiplies. So we realize that knowledge isn't power unless you know how to apply it. So many people know that you're not supposed to live above your ability, right? But not many people apply it. And they know that interest rates are high, but do they really know how they affect them? They know they're supposed to have a big a good credit score. Do they know how it counts? Do they know what affects? So we teach, we educate people, we empower people, and we start from the very, very bottom. So many people believe that, I didn't go to college. I didn't, I barely graduated from high school, and I don't know anything about money or numbers or finances. Well, you need to learn, because you either know how to play the game or you will be played. And you like it or not, you need to know how to manage money and how to steward it properly, because your life and your family depends on you.
As we've heard, money is a game that all of us are thrown into. Whether you like it or not, you're going to find yourself in the arena playing the game. And if you don't know how to play the game and the rules, you're going to get played. That is why I think financial literacy is truly so important. And so many of these big banks tell you they preach financial literacy. They want you smarter. They want you all these things. But at the end of the day, they make a ton of money off of overdraft fees and late fees and interest and everything else. And they almost enjoy keeping you ignorant. knowledge isn't power, it's potential power. And I truly believe it's time to break free and break those chains down and take control of the game that we're all forced into. So if this has been of interest to you, I hope you will go download the Moola app as well, and really just let us play a small part in your big future success when it comes to your finances. We both hope to meet you one day as well and shake your hand and just hear your story, because that's the beautiful thing about our Moola members is everybody has a story. No matter what success really means to you, it's health, it's wealth, it's spiritual wealth, whatever that may be, whatever that means to you, you get to define that. And that's the beautiful thing. And money is an amazing tool to make you more of what you really are. If you are generous, if you are kind, well, money is just going to amplify that much more. And that's our goal, to give you that as a tool to make you a better version of yourself in everything that you do. So I encourage you to head over to your app store, download the Moola app. You'll see two in there, the Moola Invest app, the Moola Savings app. I recommend getting the whole suite so you can really take control of your financial future.
Yes, and if you want to see what we are up to next and the new updates that we are bringing, or what Jason and I are up to, just follow us on social media. We are on every single platform, Instagram,
From TikTok through YouTube. You can find us at Moola Copilot. We had to work the aviation term in there, right? Moola Copilot all the way through. You can see some of that great educational video, some of the live streams, webinars that we do there as well. And just let us play a small part in your big future success towards financial freedom.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.